Welcome back to the Fight Report. We've got Lenny the Gorilla Rufati on the show. Make sure to check him out. Upcoming event, Triton Fights, New York versus Florida. It's going to be exciting, March 27th, and he's fighting John Ortolani. I love the theme right there for New York versus Florida as well. It's happening in Plant City, Florida. Trained at Roufusport. You can tell from the shirt he's wearing in Milwaukee, and is 4-3. And you can check out the pay-per-view, tritonfights.com. There's a lot of fights going on this weekend. So a lot of big events. So I'm sure you're happy to be a part of it. And, is what I wanted to ask you is my first question is, talk about fighting during this pandemic. How grateful you are to be able to fight this Saturday. I know you've competed at CFFC in your last fight. Talk about that.
Oh, yeah, man. For us regional local fighters, it is, from what I heard from a good, reliable source, 90% of us local regional fighters are not able to find fights just because local shows, in order for them to throw shows, they need to have the funds, meaning they need to fill the stands. They need to sell tickets. Well, if coronavirus is not allowing that, very few shows can actually afford to throw shows. That's why a few guys like CFFC is killing it right now, doing a show every month, double headers every month. They're killing it with their UFC Fight Pass deal. Triton Fights is doing something awesome. This is their first show in a little over a year, where they said, you know what, we can't throw a show in Florida and New York City. Let's take our talent down to Florida, where Florida's rules are a lot better for fights. And that's why we're doing it. And I'm very lucky that they called me. I'm very happy.
Definitely. And, talk about the move to lightweight. How has the weight cut been? How does your body feel? Because, you competed at welterweight, even middleweight before.
Yeah, that's right. So I did the middleweight because the guy he pretty much called the promotion and said, look, guys, it's not looking like I'm going to make 70. Can we go up a little? And then the promotion's like, look, either fight the guy 85 or there's no fight for you. I'm like, all right. Ended up being my best fight yet. Took him down immediately, ground and pound finish, highlight reel finish. So it's all mental at the end of the day, but realistically speaking, if you want to make it in the big leagues, you got to play the game, do what everybody's doing. You got to cut weight and do all that. So I'm only 5'8" and 3/4. So that's the average lightweight. So, you know what I mean? These welterweights are 6'2", 6'3", all muscle. You got to be real with yourself. I can't always look at my opponent and think the guy's huge compared to me. You know what I mean? There's weight classes for a reason.
Sure.
It's not like I grew up wrestling or doing karate or boxing my whole life. I just started this a few years ago. In that aspect, I'm behind. I just started when I was 28. I'm 33 now, and I've done amazing. I've done great, So I need to get every advantage I can get in the game.
Definitely. Well, I was about to say it would be nice if there was more weight classes, right? You had a 165 or 160 pound weight class.
Yeah, they go up to after 55, after 70 they go from after 55 they go every 15 or 20. I don't know why they do that. It should be maybe 55, 65, 75, 85. You know what I mean? But It is what it is.
Definitely. Glad that your body's responding well and you're not, you're
I hired a nutritionist, Eric Pena. Guy's a sweetheart, man. He's helping me. He's taught me a lot of things I should have known already. I graduated college, for Christ's sake. But no, man, the nutritionist is everything. When it comes to weight, it's 95% nutrition, only 5% exercise. If it goes in here, it'll show here. You know what I mean? You got to eat the right stuff. It's not even, I used to think it's about, just eating less. No, it's about eating the right stuff, because I'll still feel energized. Even though I'm on a caloric deficit, I feel great and energized for my practices because I have good nutrition right before. He times my meals just before I go to practice, and it hits, and it's awesome.
Nice. I'm glad you made that move. Talk about, why did you decide to seek out a nutritionist at this point?
Well, to be honest, I decided to seek out a nutrition because I had 4 or 5 professional fighters DM me and tell me, dude, if you're going to do this, you need to hire a nutritionist. Otherwise, it's suicide.
Right.
I'm like, you know what? And they were established professionals. I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to listen. And I did. Best thing I ever did. You can't be cheap when it comes to your body, especially if your body is an asset. And, your body is an asset when you're a fighter. Your body's everything. And even in life in general, Americans could use a freaking nutritionist, to be honest.
Yeah, true. Talk about fighting for Triton Fights, a New York-based promotion that's going to be holding its first event in Florida. How excited are you for the whole New York versus Florida theme. And, obviously you're from New Jersey originally, I believe. So, talk about that.
Yeah. I was born in New York City, and then I grew up in New Jersey because
Okay.
it's all right next to each other. I grew up in New Jersey, and I just moved out here to Wisconsin 3 years ago. No, man, Triton's awesome. They hit me up like 3 years ago to fight for them, but I was already signed with Ring of Combat. So, and they were only doing amateur shows at the time, but now this is their first pro show. And not to mention, they got 4 of us Albanian fighters on it, man. And we have an Albanian, he's like the number one kickboxer, literally number one kickboxer in the world, Elvis Gashi. The guy is in my corner. I mean, my coach Duke Roufus dubbed it Tampa Albania. There's gonna be so many Albanians there, even though we're all Albanians from New York. It's gonna be like we're gonna make Tampa our home. Plant City's right next to Tampa. It's gonna be like our home.
Nice.
I'm fighting a hometown guy, but I'm going to have a bigger crowd.
Really? Oh, nice.
Yeah.
How did you pull that off? Just had a lot of fans.
Sold a good amount of tickets considering I'm in Wisconsin. The fights in Florida. I got people flying out from Jersey. I got people flying out from Wisconsin. Also, the other 3 Albanians, they're very popular. One of them was on Contender Series. One of them is the main event. Dennis Wilson, and then Armando is having his pro debut. So they're all bringing people, and we're gonna have hundreds and hundreds of Albanians there. It's gonna be awesome, dude.
Nice. Now, training at Roufusport,
they all cheer for us. Whoever they got the ticket from, they don't care as long as we walk out with the flag. They know who we are.
Okay. Nice, definitely. Training at Roufusport, how's it been during this time, and who do you feel has helped you the most during the training camp?
Honestly, who's helped me the most during this training? Duke Roufus, man. He's there every practice. He watches my every good thing I do and every mistake I do, and he calls me out on everything. I mean, the guy is so passionate. He don't care if you're willing to put in the work. He's willing to help, and he's been doing that. He's been giving me so much advice, and he's been helping my my stand-up game a lot. Because I like to go to the ground, but he's helping me polish up my stand-up, and I just feel like I'm finally 7 pro fights in. I feel like now I'm finally starting to get it, and that I'm a fully well-rounded fighter. I've only lost 2 guys, and they were undefeated until they just fought each other. 5-0 and 4-0, and all finishes. I haven't lost any bums, and they were both way bigger than me. I fought only good people. So, yeah. And I've knocked out some good people myself. So I feel good about it. As long as I can get fights and I'm healthy, I'm going to ride this train till I'm 45, man. I love this shit.
Nice. When you review a fight with your team, what do you feel were improvements that are needed, like your last fight?
Oh, yeah. So basically setting up your shot. If you're going to come in, don't just come in. Just obviously throw punches, threaten punches, and then come in, which I knew that is just, I don't know, it was my first fight in 8 months. Maybe I was nervous. You know what I mean? It was a weird time. Corona, there was like no crowd, or no excuse. The other fighter, he had the same thing going on. So that was just an unlucky break. Honestly, it was perfectly timed. I shot in, he picked up the knee, and that was all she wrote. But I've done the same thing with punches. So what goes around comes around.
Definitely. And then when the world opens up, how much are you looking forward to find international competitors? I mean, you mentioned Albanians are going to be on this card as well, trying fights, but for you to fight fighters from other countries, maybe have the opportunity to travel to other countries.
Oh, that would be amazing, brother. Right now, I got to focus on the task ahead on Saturday, and I feel really, really, really good about it. But no, man, I'm 4-3 now. I just need a couple wins, and I'll be fine. And then I should be able to fight for the bigger leagues or internationally. It would be amazing. Just right now, I love what I'm doing. Like I said, with this nutritionist, man, I honestly feel like I have a lifestyle change. I actually enjoy cooking. I hated cooking at home. I always thought, that's just for the this is going to sound horrible. I'm like, that's just for the women to cook. I don't cook. That's just the household I grew up in, right?
Sure.
No, man, I actually look forward to making my own meals now. Veggies, eggs, chicken, all healthy stuff. I have pride in what I'm doing, and then it feels that much better to eat. I feel like us as Americans, our taste buds have been hijacked by all this freaking crap we put in our food, man. And I love it. Don't get me wrong. After the fight, I'm gonna have my fair share of all that. But it's when you actually start eating healthy, at first it tastes like crap, and then eventually you realize, no, this actually tastes amazing. Once your body forgets all that fake all that fake sugar and all that shit. You know what I mean?
I can relate, man. I'm on a diet right now that's pretty strict. So
good for you, brother. You can, if you really want to, you can do anything you want with your body. I'm telling you. Last June during COVID, I went to Florida just to visit Siesta Key for a few days. Dude, I was 238 pounds. I mean, I was fat boy. I'm only 5'8". Now I had to get like XL shorts or whatever. Now I'm fighting in small shorts, and I'll be weighing in at 155 in Florida this time. And, you know, I'll fill back up to about 75 probably. Best shape of my life, man. I've never woken up in the 70s. You know what I mean? Like, feel like rejuvenated, dude.
That's cool. Yeah, I think we'll see better performances too, probably.
Yeah, and some guys, when they go down a weight class or whatever, they feel like crap or they don't do it right.
Yeah.
I honestly feel great. I'm kind of like thinking, like, what's the catch here? Like, this isn't that bad. You know?
Yeah.
So, all because of the nutritionist, dude.
For sure.
My opinion.
And then my next question is, we got the big fight Saturday, you know, same night as yours. Stipe Miocic, Francis Ngannou. Who do you see coming out?
Oh, man, that's a good one. If Francis don't drop him in the first, I think Stipe is going to take it.
Yeah.
But that's, I mean, what do I know? You know, anything could happen. I want Stipe to win, man. He's a fireman. Like, he's a fireman. Like, come on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And his blood is from my neck of the woods, Eastern European.
Yeah, Croatian, yes.
Yeah, very close to Albania. Not that that matters, but most importantly, I respect the fact that he's a fireman, you know? I think he's a full-time fireman and UFC world champion. I mean, as far as ego goes, don't get any bigger and cooler than that.
Yeah.
You know? Selfless service, and he can knock people out. You know what I mean?
For sure. And recently, Khabib Nurmagomedov finally made his departure from the UFC. What are your thoughts about Khabib Nurmagomedov?
You know what? I'm not shocked that he's sticking by his word. When he said that, I'm like, oh, it's a done deal. Knowing the culture there, they say something, they mean it. Especially if he made that promise to his mom. And you know what? Why should he come back? Dude's 29-0. It's never going to get caught up now. Israel Adesanya, was 20-0. It looked like he was going to catch up, and then he went up a weight class and lost. So nobody's ever going to be 29-0. I don't think ever, or it's going to be very hard. The only one I can think of right now is Sean Brady, who's doing awesome from Philadelphia, like 15-0 or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, but still, that's only halfway there. You know what I mean?
True.
It's only, his fights are only going to get harder now. My point is, it's very, very difficult to get to 29-0, and I don't think it's ever going to be done again. And I say, and he's doing awesome. He's cornering his cousins and his teammates. He's bringing up that region. That region is suffering, man. You know, that region's always been suffering from their grander government. So the fact that he's shedding light on all that, hats off to him.
Yeah. He also has
and he happens to be a Muslim brother. Like,
yeah,
not all Muslims are freaking terrorists. You know what I mean? Like, I love America. I was born and raised in the United States. I served the U.S. Army. I happen to be Muslim, and that's okay. You know, but go tell that to the Hicks sometime.
Yeah. He has a promotion now from MMA called Eagle Fighting.
Yeah, that would be amazing to fight. That'd be a dream, man. It would be awesome just to get a selfie with the guy.
And then my last question is, what can we expect from you at Triton Fights, New York versus Florida this Saturday? And you take on another tough guy as well.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, hey, he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, college wrestler, and I all my fights I like to go to the ground, so this will be a very interesting matchup. You know, this will be very interesting, and I'm excited, and I'm grateful that he took the fight, because at first he didn't want to take it.
Okay.
He said something along the lines of he thought I was too big. I'm like, dude, we're the same height. We're both 5'8". You'll see. And it's weird. I actually DM'd him. I had to convince him to take the fight. And here we are. You know, it's a very nice and professional of him. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be fighting in March. So I'm very happy.
Yeah, and I know he's like
shout out Triton Fights. And I got a couple sponsors I want to shout out. Can I grab my paper quick?
Go ahead.
I knew I was forgetting something. All right. So these guys stick by me all the time, and I'm grateful. That my trip to Florida wouldn't be as smooth if it wasn't for these people, okay? My buddy, Harry Latifi, owns a few restaurants in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Harry's Prohibition Restaurant. Awesome place. Harry's Prohibition Bistro, excuse me. My Fight Space in New York City. Where at Entertainment right here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Parkside Family Restaurant, Sheboygan, Wisconsin. My sister's restaurant. Plaza Pizza, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. My dad's restaurant. MMA Tico. The guys make the best merchandise, and they're sweethearts, John and Alex, out of Pennsylvania, Lancaster. Sucker Punch Entertainment, my management. Team Gashi. Elvis Gashi. He's he's going to be in my corner, and I trained at his place in New York a few times. #1 kickboxer in the world. Eric Pena, my nutritionist. Pena Performance. Roufusport, as you see, Method MMA in Maryland, Northern Maryland. That's where the gym where I started out at. Eddie Abney, love those guys. AC Lord. TKO Fitness, Ryan Cafaro, my buddy. When we grew up together in high school, we were nerds together playing Final Fantasy. And now, you know, he corners guys in the UFC. He's an MMA fighter, and I'm an MMA fighter. Kind of weird how that worked out. Haiti Mamati, my number one sponsor, friend, and supporter. He's an Albanian singer. He does parties in New York City. I love this guy. Always helps me with ticket sales. Always gets me sponsors. Haiti Mamati. And I got to shout out Triton Fights, man, for doing this. I mean, they're going all the way. They're taking their shop all the way from New York, Long Island, New York. They're going to Florida. Love those guys. Chris Machi, Nick Canabio, the owner. Also, if you want to view the pay-per-view, it's like $19. It's tritonfights.com and select the pay-per-view and select my name, Lenny Rufati, so I get credit. And if you want to buy tickets, go to tritonfights.com if you're in the Florida area, or if you want to take a spring break trip. And also, if you want to watch the show from Albania, which a lot of people do, they have to download KOTV app, download that, and then select Triton Fights. Anyway, I appreciate it, brother. Sorry that took forever.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. I'm glad you had the opportunity to shout out everybody, and we appreciate you being on the Fightlete Report today. Lenny, hopefully we'll see each other soon. Hopefully I can make a trip over to Roufusport one day.
Oh yeah, man. I would love to see you. I remember I saw you in Chicago. That was an amazing, that was an awesome night. 50 Cent was there. It was a couple of years ago. And I was sitting VIP with my boy, Manny Sanchez, and we're talking to Scott Coker, who, by the way, Manny's fighting for $1 million next month.
That's definitely true. And yeah, we appreciate you being on the show, and everybody check out Lenny Rufati versus John Ortolani at Triton Fights 18, New York versus Florida, Saturday, March 27th, Plant City, Florida. And he gave all the information how to watch the fights. You had everything covered. So appreciate you, Lenny. Best of luck to you.
Thank you, brother. Have a good one.
You too, brother.